dose of lifestyle and inspiration. Come and learn what's new on the streets. Demetria's got you broadcasting live from Chicago. And so you know you're getting all the latest thoughts. And so you know you're getting all the latest thoughts. MzMetchi Show.
And now, let's give a warm welcome for the host of the MzMetchi Show. Introducing influencer and media personality Demetria Brown.
Welcome back to the MzMetchi Show. You all, I am so excited to bring you my next guest. This woman, I had to sigh beforehand because, baby, Reese is my mentor. She is a woman that if you don't know her, if you're from Chicago and you don't know Reese, I don't know where you're at, what rock you under, and that's okay. But I'm really excited to bring her in today. Reese Frances Purnell is the CEO and founder of the Black Women Professionals League and a serial entrepreneur, honey, and the baddest in the Chicagoland area. So without further ado, let me introduce you all to my special guest for today, Miss Reese. Hey, look, okay, for y'all by her speeches, everything they get through. It's happy as
I am so honored to be here.
yes, we have to talk.
Absolutely.
So, Reese, you got to tell, I know the story.
Okay.
But I would love if you could share for our viewers about the Black Women's Professional League, how it got started, because it's been a little bit of a journey.
It definitely has.
Can you kind of walk us through the start?
Yes, absolutely. So, my whole work history is in the nonprofit sector, doing programming, working for an organization, doing myself to film.
Okay.
Also started by a Black woman back in 1994.
Okay.
And it started as just a little group, and I was one of the original 14 girls that she started with this program at the church.
Okay.
Was with it throughout the whole journey, transitioned into its own nonprofit, transitioned to a program, funded, all of that good stuff. So I was working at the time as the senior education manager.
Okay.
And at this point, the founder of D2F was also my mentor. We were having a conversation because at this point, we're like 20 years in now.
Okay.
So she's talking about succession.
Yeah.
And so we started talking about, her conversation with me was, who's the next generation to do this?
Okay.
To have that burden for girls. Because at this time now, we're like deep into social media.
Okay. Y'all all think of.
Yeah, we're going to think of, right? Okay. So, she's the next. So she's like, oh, Lord, she's like,
I can't do it.
and and all I see is a lot of selfish generations, right?
Okay.
That everything you post is about who you with, where you at, what you got, your red bottoms, your da-da-da-da.
Right.
So her charge to me was, how do we continue this journey and get the buy-in from young women when it seems that there is somewhat of a disconnect from serving? And so it was upon that conversation that I felt the challenge. And you know how you was like, I felt like,
I don't like being called out when I ain't have my hand out.
I thought I didn't know. My hand was not okay. Lord, let up in the call.
The call was coming from inside the house.
Yeah. So I was like, well, you know what? I think I could do something with that. So I started what I called it. We started what we called the engine board at the time, the next generation board of D2F. So I called some of the other girls who had gone through the program and were now adult women and got in their profession. And I had this idea like, well, you know what? To her point, people like to be recognized and honest, right? We are, the millennials definitely like, yes. I come out son of me. Absolutely. I said, so how about we start there? Because there are some young women who are doing some amazing things. Right. And so let's start there. And then let's also connect this to them giving back to D2F.
I love that.
Let's really see how we can then work with their college connection program with the young women they transition out, and how we can really be mentors to that next generation. So when I first started, we did our very first, and we always joke, me and the founder in D2L, because when we did our very first one, I remember I told her, I gave her my idea, because they hadn't been doing any.
That was an honorable board. Okay.
No. That was all my brainchild. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. From her conversation, I'm like, let's do it this way. Okay. So I remember we had been working on it and everything. Mm-hmm. And I remember coming her and her casually asking, like, oh, how's the thing you guys are planning coming? I said, oh,
well.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, we sold almost 300 tickets. She's like, 300 tickets? Okay, well, do you have the tablecloths? I mean, she's like, oh, now.
Like, oh, now you invest.
Oh, now you invest. Now she's like, wait. And so I don't think any of us recognized at the time what was being created. And so it's so interesting because I tell people at no point in time that I know I was creating what I was creating. And for 3 years, it operated as an initiative. I never started the league thinking that this was my business, that I was starting an organization. Right. This was just an initiative for another organization as a way to galvanize millennial women to give back to that particular organization. And we've just developed from there.
It's, when I feel like that whenever I hear you kind of talk about just like the earliest stages and everything, I always learn a new tidbit as far as that's concerned. Because I thought even before that those celebrations were always going on.
Nope. Our very first one was November of 2015. They had never done anything of that magnitude to connect with young women, especially outside of D2F, like women who hadn't gone through the program.
Okay.
That was our very first time actually ever trying to connect with women outside of the program to come back and be mentors.
Okay.
To be poured into and to pour.
Yeah. And you know what? I wanted to ask you, with you saying that, since you started the organization and where it is now, from your side being the founder, can you see kind of like some gaps as far as like when there's other groups where, that they may be doing some things similar, how they're not really able to keep that momentum like how we are within our system? Because I hustle as a star.
Yes, look, class of what?
I'm C7. Okay, what was secret class? 2023. Yes, 2023. We're coming up on our 2 years. Yes, yes. But for you, like, what gaps were you able to identify where you were kind of able to do things different?
So when people ask me what do you do, I say I celebrate, connect, and create community for Black women professionals to make a social impact.
Okay.
And so the difference is when people they see the award ceremony. So a lot of times people like to get stuck there.
Yeah.
But of course, it was always built on the precedence that it would be so much more than that, right? That
beyond that day.
Beyond that day. That this was something that would give us an opportunity to mold young leaders to be socially conscious, right? And then be able to collectively make an impact. So I think for me, what keeps the momentum going for us is because I really do, I really try hard to create community for Black women. That's why. And create a safe space for Black women where it's not, even though we're professional, it's not pretentious.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, oh, I have issues.
I've never gotten that. I told it. I don't know if I ever shared this with you, Reese. When I came to the very first one, I think it had to have been 2018 and 19.
Okay.
One of those.
Okay.
And the overall feeling, just being a guest and your message, because this is the thing. Now, if you all have not heard this woman speak in person, my job move people. And the thing is, I can tell like when you are up there and you're on stage, or whenever anybody hands you that mic, you are speaking as God giving that to you, because it's almost as if you can just kind of see that coming out. But that night I said, you know what? It made me want to step up within my business, because I was like, I want to be doing something to be recognized, but I noticed the impact afterward.
Yeah. And that's what I love about the league. I tell people all the time, this is the difference from a good idea and a God idea. And at the time, I did not have any clue. A lot of times, that is how awesome God is, because he will give us a piece of it, because he knows if he showed us the whole picture.
We'll be like this. This will be...
Yeah, got me out. Exactly. And a lot of times we would be counting ourselves out because we think we weren't good enough, or we don't have enough, or financially, I don't know. So we come up with all of these barriers for why we could not accomplish what God was asking us to accomplish. Yeah. So even for me, he only gave me a piece of it.
Yeah.
He only gave me this much.
He's like, I'm going to give a
sip this year, right? And so even coming up on 10 years later, like I said, we did our first one in 2015, and now we're at 2025. We'll be doing one.
We need some hot bombs for the 10 years now. Wait a minute.
So I'm excited because it's in October, we'll officially announce our 10th year, and we're going to do a whole year from 2025, 10 to October of 2026, and then we'll close it out with our 10th class. So I'm really, really excited about that. But one of the things I will tell people about leadership, it really takes a lot of what I like to call hard work.
Okay.
Right? Okay. There is a lot of hard work that comes along with being a leader, but it also takes a lot of hard work. Okay. And I tell people all the time, as a leader, the first person you have to be able to lead is yourself.
That's right.
Is yourself.
That's right.
And so when a lot of the challenges and different things have come up and presented themselves with myself or with the league,
okay,
I've always been able to do the work and say, okay, so where did I drop the ball?
Right. And how could I
in the scheme? And how do I improve so that I can have better relationships, better boundaries, right? Better structure.
That's right.
Better things. And, as a leader, you should be being pushed and developed. As much as you are leading, you should also be being led and developed and those things. And so, yeah, that's what the journey for me has been with the lead. You know what I mean? It's
and Reese, I talk all the time, even on this show, as well as with the Blueprint Live. Whenever I bring guests on, we talk about some of the difficult things that come up, because I don't feel like it gets talked about enough. As you kind of reflect on the 10 years, what was a kind of like a hurdle, if you care to share, that you had to kind of jump over and you were like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through this?
Oh, wow. Good stuff. So
let's break it down.
Where do I need to begin? So once again, I started this when I was 35. And so my leadership style was very communal.
Okay.
When I first started, I was to everybody. Yes.
Okay.
Everybody. And I was like, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? One of the things that I've learned to also, that I've been saying as of late, I didn't know how to differentiate between fellowship and friendship.
Oh.
Right? As a leader, I didn't know how to separate fellowship from friendship. Okay. I get it. And so I came into this heart very open, very green, very new. So I lacked a lot of boundaries. I brought people in to my personal life.
Like, okay.
People had access to me, like my number, my social media. People could message me. They could reach for me. I was the first person people would reach for if they had a question.
Yeah.
So there was, because there was like a lack of structure there. I was the point person. So when things begin to happen, and then me not understanding that some people, as you grow and the notoriety grows, people come into this thing wanting to be close to you, wanting a personal relationship with you,
not with the overall
mission.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. So not understanding those dynamics of learning, knowing how to fellowship with the group, but understanding that it's going to be very rare that most people will ever cross into friendship with me. Because most people cannot follow who they know intimately.
Reese, come on now. She is helping. So now if you got a group, you got an organization, you better catch these gems.
I'm just being real. It takes a very mature person who's extremely called to the mission and to you, right? Who can understand your humanness and still be willing to follow you.
Now, Reese, now I'm okay with you saying that, because now I need you to know I agree 100%. But if there was someone that was listening in and they're like, hey, well, if I join this sisterhood, why wouldn't we be friends?
So sisterhood is not friendship.
Come on now.
Sisterhood is not even everybody liking me. Sisterhood is a mutual respect, that's right. That even if our personalities don't mesh, or maybe we don't,
see, I
have a mutual respect to you, that if I can't help you, at the very least, I won't ever hurt you.
Ooh.
That's sisterhood.
I'm shook.
So I tell people all the time that at my lowest, because I took a 2-year break from the league. Because you got it as it was a lot, and I had to sit down and do some work, right? And then I had to when I came back, I had created those boundaries. I had created those levels of, reach and those different things, right? But I had to take a break from that. And then that gets overwhelming. It gets extremely overwhelming. And so I had to learn how to put those boundaries in place. I had to learn how to say, okay, that doesn't work. Once again, we're a friendship piece. And that's why that's real. And it's another place where you say, well, everybody thinks, because maybe there's a fallout with certain people or do it, that, that's not, as a sister, which is why you've never seen anything public. You never saw me crash out. You never saw me.
He says never crash. And I need y'all to know, if Reese could crash out and she's speaking, it's
I have stories. Do you know what I mean? And not that people don't have stories about me. I'm not going to say that I haven't had failures as a leader as well, that people don't have.
We're human.
Absolutely. But that's what I mean about trusting people, that when they see your humanness, most people get through with you because they're like, oh, wait, you're human? I had put you on this pedestal, and you could feel like this. I don't want nothing to do with you. I don't mess with her.
Me, I mean, like you said, you kind of want to see the heart of things. I just feel like if you can't, whether if you're a leader or if you're the person that you're following, we all have different things going on. It's just like, it's about the transparency, about the honesty. Some of those are the qualities. But a lot of people, and look, I'll go ahead and speak up because I am a part of the organization. We have seen some of our ones, even with our class, and if you watch it and you feel the way I'm calling you out, come on, claim it your chest. Y'all already know. But now they will come and get the honors, but not do the work afterwards. And then, now no one has ever said it to me, but I know that I heard conversation. They're like, what did I get from it? What did you put into it? Did you get to it? And Reese, what do you tell because I know if you told our class, you told them, what do you tell our sisters in regards to what I just said?
I always say you're only going to get out of it what you're willing to put into it. So I always say, if there's someone going around talking about what the league is not and what it was not and what value they don't see in it, start asking those questions. Well, what did you show up to, sis?
Come on now.
What did you participate?
Look at photo evidence.
What did you participate? Did you come to the things? Did you ever share? Because did you serve? Because one of the things I love Brene Brown, and she has a book called Dare to Lead. Okay, and I love where she talks about the bleacher seat people. You know what I mean? In the arena, and I've learned from her that if you want to have a say, you got to be on the field.
That's right. You
gonna be
floor seats.
The people in the floor seats be the ones that talk the most.
Yes.
You get in the field. So if you want to have a say, get in the field.
Absolutely.
But you can't have a say from the nosebleed.
You cannot.
I can't honor that. And so I have had to learn, because anything that's yours and you born it, you have to learn how to chew the facts on the bones when it comes to criticism, right? And you can't take it to heart.
That's right. That's right.
I have learned not to take people's praise or people's criticism. Because one day, as Lauren said, they'll hail you and they'll nail you no matter who you are. Jesus Christ was a superstar. They'll hail you and they'll nail you no matter who you are.
Reese, you
I'm just saying. That's the play. So once I learned that you could have a 5-year run and be on top, and something like the pandemic happened, and then it's like it washed away all that you had done and earned, and almost like destroys you. Yeah. I was like, oh,
can't do it.
So this will never be done on people's praise. So that helped me to quickly disconnect. I love that. From
you. I need you to know that you're helping me tonight.
Yeah,
you're helping me tonight. Yeah, because I just feel like some of these things, I mean, they have to be said. And for me, I remember when I first interviewed you, and this was right before Fine Toucher, right?
Okay.
And you was like, I don't usually do this. And I respected that. It stuck with me because I was like, for one, I felt honored because I'm like, okay, this is Reese. This is our founder. You know, this is our mentor. She is our intro.
Yeah.
And she's stepping outside of that. I received that with great honor, you know, because I recognize that I'm a foreign people pleaser. Hi.
Yeah.
And I would do things or kind of go along with things and I felt uncomfortable. So, I recognize, I'm like, she's making an exception. I got to make this worth her while. You have to make people rise up. That's a lesson that I like. Reese. Those look, we ain't gonna cry, I think, and we not gonna do it today, but no, for real.
And you know what? Interestingly enough, with you even saying, with me saying like, I usually don't do this, and it was because I still was really protecting in my space and allowing myself to grow back into, because even though I took that 2-year break, and I started a whole nother company while I took that 2-year break. I literally call it Kenny made the company. Started a whole other company, and I felt God saying to me,
he like, come back over here.
Yeah, because he said you don't get to walk away because it's difficult. You don't get to lay it down because it's difficult.
That's right.
Everything that you need is in you for you to accomplish this.
That's right.
And I'm going to walk with you. Yeah. And so even in coming back, I came back very armored still.
That's right.
Because now I was, again, learning how to trust myself in a new way.
Right, with your new boundaries and things.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so usually when you do that, you start all the way from the start.
So we like, and I've heard that. I don't know if it was your experience, Reese, but like, I know when I started putting different boundaries in place and really advocating for myself more, like, no, actually, I'm uncomfortable with that.
Yeah.
It felt so odd to me. Like, I felt like I was being mean. Or like cruel. And realistically, it's for my best friend. She's like, oh no, girl, you doing what you should have been doing 7 years ago. Probably. Yes, you needed better boundaries.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You really see how people feel about you when you tell them no. Because as long as you're going along to get along and people can call you and you say, okay, well, they're like, shit, yeah, cool, Which is why now I always preface when I say, oh yeah, you all, please, if you have ideas. Now I'm not going to tell you we're going to use them. But this is what you can share though. And I make a joke, but let people understand that there are levels to it. So it's finding that balance of having an open door policy, but also even putting boundaries around even in that open door. You know what I mean? And it's how that's why first year. You're not in a leadership role.
And we was itching. Man, and now we in our second year, we're showing up. What can we do?
How can you lead something that you haven't followed? Maybe you just got here.
No.
You can't
We had to sit down. We did.
Now, if you decide to come back your second year and reactivate, now is when I get to say, okay.
Right.
Now I can trust you with leadership because you've gone through the process. You've followed for a few full year, so you know the programming. You kind of know where we're going. You see the culture, right? You see the vision. You've worked in the mission. Now you can have a say. Now we can trust you.
That's right.
To lead the next group coming up. But if you haven't followed, how do you lead something you haven't followed?
At that time, At that time, it was like, you know, I think we were just so eager and excited. And you did a great job as far as creating that atmosphere, but that's how it's supposed to be. Because we here, you know.
And it's like, I want you to come in and be a part.
That's right.
I want you to come in here and I want you to come in and be a part of it, learn the culture of it.
That's right.
Serve, put your hands to work. That's, you know, that becomes the part I think sometimes we forget the blessing. I told somebody about joining this other group, and I said, oh my God, you know why I want to join? Because it'll be so refreshing to be the one that just has to be the one to get the Doritos and set up a table with cheese. You know what I mean? I'm lining up the little Doritos. Oh, look at that table. It was beautiful. You know, because people forget that it's okay to come into places and observe and to serve and not, because sometimes
we serve so much. This is outside the organization, but just in our own lives, that it is so hard to just go and just be.
It is. And you know, and I understand because Black women, you know, we do so much. We're so many hats.
Yeah.
We're conditioned to show up and get it done, right? That's conditioned to show up. Well, what's this? Why, you know, to come in that way. So I understand. And it takes, what I tell people, someone I literally just saw one of our sisters today. And call them out. You know what? But I will, because I know she won't mind. But I saw Photography Bay, shout out Amber. Yeah. And so I was so about to say, I'm like, you know, you have to come and do the photography for 10th. She was like, say less, absolutely, please. And we were just talking. She said, and Reese, I really have to tell you, like, you are anointed to do this. So because I tell people all the time, I couldn't do it. The level, like all of the different women, getting their personalities, and she was like, I tell people all the time, I love working with men. Even as I'm in my field, I prefer working with men. She was like, you know, no saying that I don't have healthy friendships with women. She was like, but when it comes to groups and being in groups with women, she was like, it could get real messy real fast. And so she was like, so the fact that you have pressed to continue this, and she's like, I can only imagine what you deal with. I know. She said, I just have to give you, you know, like, give you your props on that. And whenever I hear that, I'm like, thank you. Yeah, but thank you so much, because it's a lot of truth in that. So far, we have inducted 320 women. 320 women professionally women in Chicago, okay? So, but thanks. That's 320 personalities, attitudes, expectations. All of that, right? That I'm managing. And expectations. And expectations. All of that's a lot. Entitlements. All of that. Come on.
Reese, we're not going to do that, but we're not getting into the entitlements tonight.
So, I mean, you know, that's a lot to do. 320. Most of us can't deal with 5. We got one on our jobs that we be like, I'll put this job tomorrow if this keeps today to now. Okay. And so you ain't say, hey, 320 opinions. 320 opinions of how I should be running the lead, what the lead should be doing, what it ain't doing. 320 expectations about what they should be getting out of it. 320 entitlements of what they think they should be receiving in a relationship with me. Girl, it's nice. I stay prayed up. I stay on my man. You have to.
We sending you oil for Christmas. He's sending you the blessed oil.
I stay on my other man.
Like, don't let her sit there and rub her head with this before she get in here with these people.
Which is why, you know, when I think about it, even though we're coming up to our 10th year anniversary with doing the award ceremonies, I'm really only 3 years in of running it as a company and its own organization. And so that, of course, presents... Well, you would be able to tell. I know. Well, wait, David, up to you. Thank you for saying that, because a lot of times one of the things that you can't do as well as a leader is compare.
Because like, from my vantage point, it seems as if it's been that way the entire time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, and yeah, because 2018? Yeah, that's been a few. Yeah, so 2018 was the first year it became mine.
Okay. But 2018 and 2019, I was still trying to figure out, like, well, it being mine, what do I do with it? Because, yeah, at that, before then, everything from 2015, 2016, 2017, it still was under the umbrella of the organization. So they were responsible financially, fiscally, all of that, right? So in 2018, when it became out, I was kind of like, I wasn't prepared to say.
Do you have any accountants on the team? Any agency starters in finance?
And so after those 2 years, and then the pandemic came and COVID and everything, it really gave me an opportunity to slow down. That's our effort God on it. We really did. We really did. Because the real question, though the question initially came as a hurtful something, but the higher question was, where's the money? And that was the question God was asking me. Like, you cannot pour from an empty place. And that's what you're doing right now.
Yeah. How do we change that?
How do we change that? How do we start to move this into something that is more sustainable as fiscally and financially sound? And so even when I came back, that's what we institute the membership fee. That's from those different things. And so we've been on the journey to really do that and to, engage sponsorships and those different things. So it's been a journey, one that I'm blessed and honored that, God chose me to be a part of too.
It's great. And I want to ask you this. Like, I know a little bit of this. Can you share as much as you can?
Absolutely.
What are some of the things that's coming up from the league that we can share? Because if you're not in, you got to be in. But what are some of the things that are coming up that, besides the senior, that we kind of be excited about?
Absolutely. Well, 2025 applications and nominations open April 1st. So make sure you go to our website to check us out, bwplinc.com/nominate. Okay. And so, like we said, you can either nominate yourself or you can apply. Okay. So that'll be up, like I said, April 1st. April 1st, and I believe it closes either May 31st or June 1st. So you have a limited amount of time to go in there and do that. So that's coming up April 1st. And we also have our first quarterly networking event of the year coming up.
I'll be there.
Yes.
I canceled the show. I'm like, no. We're not doing any of that.
Yes. And I'm repping today our theme for the year, which is strong as the woman next to me. And so we will be working off of that title for the year, but we're talking about creating a legacy of wealth. So some of our sisters who are financial experts will be featured as a panel, and we're going to talk about how do we even in this economy with everything that we see going on with the political climate, how do we still
build from that? Yes. I'm really excited about that. I love the fact that with those events, they have the different themes to bring it. This one is based off financial success, but the other ones I've attended, if you walk in this room, even if you're not trying to join, you're going to get something. Oh yes, absolutely some type of knowledge and information. Effortlessly, it's full. It's full. Before you leave us today, Reese, if there's a young lady that's listening to this and she is trying to figure out, I want to jump into this venture, I'm scared, I don't know what to do, what would you tell?
Trust God, love people. Yeah, trust God. And what I mean by that is in the commandments, God never told us to trust people. Think about it. Everything always tells us to love people. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. It talks about in Corinthians, love is this, love is that, love is right. And so a lot of times we get into this word, our greatest heartache comes because we trusted people with the vision. Trust God, love people, serve. And if you will say serve people, trust God, serve people. That's right. Because people will absolutely let you down every time. Now, if you trust them, you'll abort the mission. That's right. So that's why God admonishes you. Trust me. Trust God. That's right. And then let me do the God with the trusting yourself. Because a lot of times, the first person who's betrayed it, you betray yourself. When you feel betrayed, ask yourself, you can, if you really do the hard work, you'll see, I betrayed myself because I didn't create boundaries. I didn't say no. So once again, trust God, love people, serve people. That's how you have to keep that at the forefront of this work. Because I'm telling you, some along the journey, people will let down
Every time.
and you'll be ready to say, you know what? God ain't giving you this. Exactly.
I'm out of here.
But if you stay connected to the call that God has put on you to serve them, even when they hurt you, even when they disappoint you, even when they betray you, you'll be able to focus back on the mission and trust God that this is a learning, right?
This is not to help you, not to hurt you.
Yes, to grow you. You needed that so that you know there was a blind spot. And this was the way he wanted to show you, or this was the way it came through, so that you can see and pull that little. Absolutely.
Reese, you have just filled us up today on the MzMetchi Show. Before you get out of here tonight, let them know how they can follow and also how they can support it.
Okay.
The Black Women's Profession.
Absolutely. So if you are looking for us, we are BWPLinc.com. Once again, that's BWPLinc.com. You can visit our website. We are BWPL Inc. on Instagram. We can find us on LinkedIn, the Black Women's Professionals. Yes. Yeah, we do have a TikTok. Lord have mercy. Facebook, we have almost 7,000 followers on Facebook, so you can follow us, Black Women Professionally, on Facebook. My personal Instagram is Reese LaFrances, so you can find me at Reese LaFrances if you want to follow me personally. But yeah, everywhere you go, BWPL Inc. or Black Women's Professional League, and we would love to have you and love to see you at one of our networking events or have you, hopefully, in October, inducting you as one of our new sisters.
Now. Join the sisterhood.
Join the sisterhood. Join the community.
Yeah, love it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So you know you're getting all the latest on MzMetchi Show.
Welcome back to the MzMetchi Show. I get asked all the time, what are some of my favorite products that are in my glam bag? So today, I'm breaking that bag open and I'm showing you some of my must-haves for all of my makeup girlies and my glam girls now. The first thing that I use, look, I want to speak very directly to my oily girls. The ones that our T-zones look as if it's an oil slick moments after we put our makeup on. This e.l.f. matte primer, okay, and let me be clear. This is the Power Grip matte primer from e.l.f. This is a product that is affordable, okay? You can find this at the drugstore. You can find this at Ulta, Sephora, wherever. Under $10. And when I tell you this is going to help lock that look in, get it, please. Now, it's no secret that MzMetchi is a Maybelline girl. I am a Maybelline girl through and through. The Fit Me collection, I am a shade 355, okay? So where are all my caramel girlies at? Where my girls at? From the front to back. Okay. This foundation is also, this is going to be matte, but they do have a dewy finish. They have a few different, a satin finish. You can find whichever one that you need to complement your skin. And again, this is a product that you can find it in your high-end places, but you can also find it at your local Family Dollar or Walmart, okay? Get into it. Now look, what is also in my glam bag at any given point in time is definitely an oil sheen. Specifically, I love olive oil products. It's great for my hair texture, and it gives me that nice sheen after I finish my makeup look. Black Opal. Let me tell you all about this concealer right here. If you have something that you need to cover up, get the true color. Get the true color. Now, I am personally a warm almond, okay? That is my shade for my complexion and what I need. But you know, if you go into any of your local makeup stores, especially Ulta, I'm an Ulta girl, they will also help you match. They'll help you match it, okay? This stuff, I deal with a lot of hormonal acne, so I get the dark spots and the hyperpigmentation on different places, you know, of course on my face. Black opal is always really good as far as making sure that not only when I cover it up, it stays covered up for the entire time of my makeup look. Get it? Now, I know that you ladies like to spend 10, 15, 20. I've even seen pencils up to about $40. An eyebrow pencil. Let me be clear. LA Colors has you covered. This is a $2. $2 right here. This is the Browy Wowie, okay? I use this for my brows. This is something that every makeup girl should have. It does not cost that much to fill in your eyebrows. You should never be spending more than what it takes to get you a chicken nugget, on your eyebrows. It's just not needed. You can find this at your Family Dollar, Walmart. I've never seen it. If you see this for over $2.50, leave the store. Go to another one, okay? Get it for your eyebrows. This is what you need. Now, last but certainly not least, this is that white powder, and it's not that type of powder. We don't do that here at the MzMetchi Show, okay? But this is that white powder by Kim Chi. This is a setting powder for my matte girlies. Again, I'm speaking to my oily girls. This is for the oily girls. This powder here, I saw it for the first time on TikTok, of course. This was my first time. And the way that it made the young lady whose video I watched, her skin just looked like it was silk. It was so soft. And they talked about it so much that 3 videos later, here I was putting it in my cart and it arrived at my house 3 days later. Shout out to Kim Chi. I absolutely love their products. Now, I'm not just a fan of the powder. I'm also a fan of their setting spray, which if you are not familiar with Kim Chi products, okay, Kim Chi, she is a drag queen. So one thing that we know about the drag queens, their makeup slays. And one thing it also does is it stays. This powder plus their setting spray, baby, you need nothing else. That's a little bit of a taste of what's in my makeup bag. Wherever you all are watching, let me know what's in your makeup bag and what I need to add to my collection. We'll be right back. All right, it is time to jump into MzMetchi's side eye of the week. Now, let me tell you all this. This is something that I have personally dealt with. I don't care if it's in business, jobs, out at the club, okay? But you all tell me if you feel me on this. And let me just turn to the side because I want y'all to see it. My side eye of the week goes to anyone that acts like they don't see you, okay? When you know that they see you, let's talk about it, okay? I am not just talking about online, okay? Because we know that people will see you online and they'll scroll right past, which that is their prerogative. But we are talking about people that you know, people that you have been out with, probably partied with, even went on vacation with, that they will see you. They will see you. You will see them see you. And they won't speak. Now, I'll be honest with you. Anyone that knows me, MzMetchi, her peripheral vision on the right-hand side, it needs a little work. It needs a little bit of advancement. LASIK, what have you. That's fine. So if you come up on me on the right side, I might not see you. But once I see you, I'm going to acknowledge you. Even if I don't have a long time to have an interaction with you, I'm going to say hello. I'm going to be demure. I'm going to be cutesy, which is what we're supposed to be doing. But it doesn't happen like that all the time. There are certain people that when you see them, they'll try to look past you. They'll look at everything but you. And I don't know why, but it grinds my gears. So for anyone that's doing that, okay, and if you see me out in the streets and you want to act like you don't know me, please don't try to know me when you need something or you want to hook up. You're trying to go somewhere. You need some backstage passes. You need some tickets. Okay, you want to get an RSVP. We have to stop doing that. Don't be selective. Okay, when you see people and you see them out, it costs nothing to say hello. It costs nothing to wave. Hey, you can throw up the peace sign like how I do. I'm such a millennial. Do all of that. But to deliberately see someone, look them in their face. Welcome back to the MzMetchi Show. And now it's time for Say It With Your Chest. Let's get into it. Now look, I know that someone that's tuning in, you have worked hard towards a goal. I mean, you worked your ass off, okay? And you have had a door close in your face, an opportunity slip through your fingers, a rejection or what have you, to something bigger that you've been working on, something that is a part of your passion, your desire, or what it is that you want to do. And I feel that sometimes we pray and we work towards things. And I don't know about you, but I become a little bit discouraged sometimes when things don't work out. But there is something that I feel like we have to really, really hone in on and understand for this week. Say it with your chest. We have to walk away with the fact that when rejection happens, when these doors are closed, that every closed door is a redirection to something greater. Okay. I experienced something recently, even in business, where myself and my team, oh my goodness, we labored and worked so hard to bring something to fruition. And in the midnight hour, when this opportunity and this thing was supposed to happen for us, it fell through. And oh my God, it fell through in like the worst way. It was devastating. I mean, I woke up the day when everything was supposed to go through, and I have to be honest, these big eyes, I know y'all see these big eyes, honey, red, a fistful of tears. Do you hear me? I couldn't get myself together because I just couldn't understand that everything had fallen apart. And there was so much. I mean, I had checked every logistic and I had sat on every call and hit everything on the checklist. So to arrive at a place where this door has closed, and I mean, it didn't just close, it slammed in my face, And I think about when that happened to me, how I felt like I had to kind of like cower and go back to my team and just be like, hey, this is yet another situation where this door has closed, or where this work that we've put in has been in vain, right? But I had to recognize very quickly that just because that door closed, it didn't mean that what it was that I was working towards or what it was that I wanted to do, that wasn't still on the table, right? I had to take a different direction for how I did things. So we have to remember, and I want y'all, if you at home, pat your chest if you need to. Say it with your chest. Every closed door is a redirection to something greater. Because let me tell you, I had to sit in those tears. I had to sit in the sorrow of what I felt in that moment to know that all my hard work and everything that I had done to get there, that it was not going to happen the way that I had envisioned. Okay. That was just the reality of it. It was not going to happen. So once I came to that realization and I cried those tears out and I put them spoons in the freezer and put them on my big apples, because I did, this is a true story. I started to think, and I had to really delve deep. And, I'm talking, y'all know MzMetchi, she loves everybody. But right now we're going to talk a little bit about God, because I had to pray to him. I had gotten to such a place and I was so sad over the situation that I just found myself going into probably one of the biggest bouts of prayer that I had gone into in a while as a business owner, to ask him, what is it that I'm supposed to do now? I have taken this business concept and what I wanted to do, and I've been working towards this for so long. God, what do I do now? Right? And in that moment, he opened my eyes up and just, I felt like almost as if he had allowed my brain to just go to places that they had never gone to before. And I said, you know what? Instead of trying to sit at this table and sit with this group and promote with these people or whatever it was that would have entailed with that opportunity, I decided to take those ideas and those concepts of what I wanted to do and take them back to my team and see how we could build together, us, right? Because a lot of the times when opportunities come up, whether it's a job or different relationships or different things, we not so much as glorify it, but we're like, hey, this is the best thing ever. Nothing will ever top this. Not knowing that sometimes when those opportunities or those things fall through, that's okay, right? It's okay. It's directing us to something. Like, you might want to get in a relationship with this person, and you might meet somebody else as soon as you leave them alone. You know, it's so many different examples of it. But I know that closed door, it led me to something that was far bigger than what I could have imagined. Even just the thoughts and the concepts that went into redirecting my path, okay? Say it with your chest. Every closed door is a redirection to something bigger and better. We're only going big and better now. Welcome back to the MzMetchi Show. Whew, we have done so much talking tonight that it is time for a cold and refreshing beverage. Tonight's drink of the night is going to be none other than TJ's Lemonade, okay? This is a Black-owned brand from the Chicagoland area, okay? This is a mother and her sons, and they are putting on for the city. For tonight's drink, we're going to be trying their blue raspberry and cherry lemonade. Let's go ahead and pour up. Now, I actually got this bottle from an event that I attended. TJ's Lemonade pops up everywhere in the city, okay? So you can purchase with them online, of course, if you reach out through their Instagram and Facebook, but you're gonna always find them somewhere in the city giving out these juices. Not giving them out, they're selling them, but they'll have them available for you. Now, I need to go ahead and take my sip. I don't have any liquor in here today because we're going to be demure. We're going to be cute. Yeah, give me 14 of them. It's really, really delicious. You can taste all of the flavors in there. And this is not, it's just sweet enough. Like, it's not, I'm going to give you diabetes type of sweet, okay? Because that's too sweet. But no, this is just... it's just the right amount of sweetness in the blend of all of those flavors. So, I don't usually like the blue raspberry stuff sometimes, but this tastes delicious. And it's actually one of my favorite drinks from their line. All right, make sure that you all go and get TJ's Lemonade. Let them know MzMetchi sent you. We'll be right back. Cheers. Today's show was incredible. We talked about so many different things as far as persevering and pushing through no matter what. So I want to leave you all with a word that's certainly been helpful to me. Your gifts will make room for you, even in spaces where you weren't invited. I know for myself personally, I have definitely been invited in spaces, and I felt very invited once I got there, been excluded from spaces, but as I continued to keep pushing through and doing what it was that was my calling, what it was that I was set out to do, my gifts made room for me. My gifts gave me the ability to go and walk into doors that I never thought that I would walk into, to connect with other people that I never thought that I would bump into or rub elbows with. And I want to let you know that you can do the same thing. Your job, when you have a calling on your life, when you have a mission that you are set out to complete, is to be consistent, to push through, and to keep shining as you always do, okay? If y'all live in Chicago like us, the stars are out there even if you can't see it due to the pollution or whatever it is that's going on. So when you are in a place where you feel like your shine may not be out there, it does not stop you from shining in the first place. So allow your gifts that you have to make room for you. That's the word I want to leave you all with. Thank you so much for tuning in, and make sure that you come back next time. It's the MzMetchi Show. Bye.
Demetria's got you broadcasting live from Chicago.